Welcome to the Fate of Ukraine channel. The most intense missile attack ever from Russia. The result is quite surprising. Russian army hit Zaporizhia, located in the south of Ukraine, with missiles. The attack in question was recorded by experts as the most intense bombardment ever. There are only a few days left until the end of the first year of the war, which started on February 24th. In the past period, the war process did not go as the Russian army expected. Russian army is now estimated to have lost at least 100,000 soldiers. Moscow has so far issued only 2 official statements about the soldiers who lost their lives. Putin had to partially announce his mobilization decision, which he resisted for months, in September 2022. He drove 300,000 reserve soldiers to the front. While all these developments were taking place, it was put forward that Putin wanted to put Ukraine in a difficult situation with an all-out attack. In the light of these developments, the Russian forces targeting Zaporizhia carried out the largest missile attack ever. Ukrainian sources stated that the attack was prevented by air defense systems in Kyiv and the damage was low. Ukrainian Air Force Command reported that 61 of the 71 missiles fired by Russia in its attacks on the country's critical infrastructures were destroyed. The destruction of 61 missiles in the air is quite successful. Ukrainian air defense systems successfully intercepted almost all Russian missiles. In a written statement from Ukrainian command, it was stated that Russian forces carried out extensive missile attacks on Ukraine's critically important infrastructure today. According to the statement, it was recorded that the Russian army hit Ukraine from the air with 8 Tu-95MS strategic bombers by Caspian Sea and the Russian city of Volgodonsk. It was also stated that Russian forces fired Caliber cruise missiles from their ships in Black Sea. Russian Navy also appeared in this great attack. However, all Kremlin's missiles, which were deemed unstoppable, were officially stopped. Ukrainian army once again regretted Russians. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stated that Russia is targeting infrastructures. Pointing out that some Russian missiles passed through Moldovan and Romanian airspace, Zelensky also announced that these missiles passed over NATO territory. Leader Zelensky stated that Russian army should stop its attacks. 2 Russian Caliber cruise missiles entered Romanian airspace. Ukrainian General Staff immediately called the Romanian command to inform. It has officially become clear that Russian missiles have entered Romanian airspace. As a result of the attacks, NATO gave a red alert in the region. Ukrainian soldier made a big attack by saying "Hasta la vista, baby." For the first time, the Ukrainian army destroyed Russian Terminator combat vehicle. It turns out that for the first time, Ukrainian Marine Commandos decommissioned an advanced Russian BMPT Terminator armored combat vehicle. Terminator armored vehicle is Russia's fairly new and powerful system for ground attack. The shooting of this system, which Putin could not finish with praise, also caused a loss of morale in Russian army. Ukrainian army received a great reward by shooting this armored vehicle. The Naval Commando Brigade that shot Terminator made a very successful operation. Initially, the 140th Marine Commando Reconnaissance Battalion was making observations near Russian positions. Then, with the arrival of the Terminator armored vehicle in the region, the Ukrainian Marines told the artillery units the coordinates of the armored vehicle. Then the artillery began the massive attack. The Ukrainian Navy said "Hasta la vista, baby" as the artillery strike began. The Ukrainian Commando Battalion found the now exploded Russian Terminator. Only scrap metal remained of Putin's supposedly invincible and unique combat vehicle. Military experts could not confirm which of the 2 Terminator variants was hit. Because the Ukrainian artillery hit so hard that the vehicle was completely scrapped. At the moment, it is not known what ammunition the Ukrainian artillery used to attack. However, in the middle of a road surrounded by forest on both sides, there is a scrap of Terminator. The drones used by the Ukrainian army immediately arrived in the area. Drones captured images from a fairly high position. Both Ukrainian and Russian forces use drones extensively for artillery strikes. Serhiy Haidai, army commander of the Luhansk region, stated that the Terminator attack took place near Kreminna. This city has a very controversial and strategic position for Luhansk Oblast. The control of the highway near the region is very important for both sides. The army controlling the highway would also ensure the control of the Luhansk region. However, at the moment, it has not been able to provide control of the highway on both sides. Ukrainian reconnaissance troops are currently hunting near Kreminna. On the other hand, the second important foreign visit of the President of Ukraine, Zelensky, was to England. London welcomed its esteemed guest with great enthusiasm. British Prime Minister Sunak also held meetings with Zelensky on Ukraine's request for fighter jets. Zelensky recalled that he organized his first visit to the UK in 2020 after becoming president. In addition, Zelensky talked about how he was sitting in the chair of former Prime Minister Winston Churchill at the Churchill War Rooms and Museum and how he felt there. Zelensky said, "I felt something at that moment, but now I understand what that feeling is. All Ukrainians know that only courage allows you to overcome unimaginable difficulties. The reward for this is victory." Stating that Britain has stood by Ukraine since the first day of the war, Zelensky said, "From the first seconds of the war, Great Britain extended a helping hand when the world did not know how to react." Former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, "You brought together everything that others saw impossible." "Thank you," said the leader. Bordering Belarus, one of Russia's important allies, Poland closed its doors. There has been a harsh reaction from Belarusian authorities after Poland, which borders with Belarus, which has been rumored to join Russia in the war in recent months, closed its doors. The Minsk administration criticized the surprise decision taken yesterday, describing the move as unreasonable and dangerous. The actions of the Polish authorities could lead to collapse on both sides of the border, said the Belarusian Border Force's social media account. Polish authorities announced the other day that they would close Bobroniki, an important border crossing to Belarus, citing security concerns. The new development brought the already troubled relations between two countries to the bottom. In a statement made by Belarus, it was stated that only 2 of the 6 mainland crossing points on 400-kilometer border between the two countries will be open after the closure takes effect. On the other hand, Moldovan Prime Minister Natalia Gavrilita announced the resignation of her government. The effects of the war began to reflect on other countries. Moldovan Prime Minister Natalia Gavrilita announced the resignation of her government after 18 months in power, filled with the hardships and economic turmoil of the war in Ukraine. "I believe in the people of Moldova. I believe in Moldova," said Gavrilita, adding, "I believe we will overcome all difficulties." Moldova, one of the former Soviet republics with a population of 2.5 million, is dealing with problems such as high inflation. Moldova also experienced power cuts after Russia's attacks on energy infrastructure in Ukraine and could not get rid of its dependence on Russian natural gas. Demonstrations were held in the capital Chisinau due to the rising prices, especially the price of Russian natural gas. Speaking about long-range missiles at Ukraine-European Union Commission meeting held in Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov officially stated that they are ready to assure Western countries that if the missiles are sent, they will not hit Russian territory. Reznikov, speaking at the meeting, which was attended by President of Ukraine Vladimir Zelensky and President of European Union Commission Ursula von der Leyen, noted that Ukraine needed long-range missiles. Reznikov stated that they wish to complete the shipments of air defense systems Patriot and SAM-T as well as new IRIS-T and NASAMS as soon as possible. Ukrainian air defense system does not pass anymore. We'll see what happens in the coming days. We have come to the end of another video. You can like the video to support us. By subscribing, you can easily follow new videos. See you.